Okay, yeah, nice to meet you all. I'm Adam Dunn, and I am a software engineering manager right now at Limble. It's a cool company that builds software for like management, like facilities management, maintenance management. Like if you have 100 warehouses with a ton of forklifts in them, and you got to keep track of when to change the oil and everything, this software is the best out there that does that. And I have the best team. And here's really cool factoid: we're also hiring. We're looking for like senior level software engineer 2 level engineers, and it's totally remote and awesome place to work. So that's my little plug for that. But yeah, today I'm actually going to talk more about like my hobby. This is something that I'm always nerding out with Matthew. He's my good friend and next door neighbor. And we're always nerding out about game development and like how we as like super busy fathers with full-time jobs, lot to do. How are we going to actually achieve our dreams? Like, how do we build these games? By the way, these slides are AI generated pretty much. I mean, I supplied some content, but you gotta love the stuff like this right here. Kid 1, Kid 2, and Kid 3. This is my family, everybody. Meet my family. I do have 3 kids. This is great. So if you find anything like that, maybe you'll get a prize at the end or something. Just token, I don't have any prizes. But yeah, I've been doing game dev for a really long time, like just as a complete passion and hobby. Some people work on a car in their garage. I like to finish work and then go work on a game. It just totally relieves all my stress. A long time ago, like 10 years ago, I got like I won a prize for, it was a Grow Utah event, concept to company, where I got to go pitch with a whole bunch of people. It was cool because there were teams there with like big screens all set up and controllers, and they had like all of these indie games all going. And then I brought my little laptop, and I had my wife and at the time 2 kids there, and we set it up on a stool, got to pitch it, and the game was all about teaching kids how to code. And it took first place, and that blew me away. So that was really cool. That was fun. Yeah, moving forward though, like how the heck do people that are super duper busy like work on something and actually make something interesting and fun? And that with the advent of AI, it's like been a lot more possible. And the way I think about it, the way I attack the problem now, is I try to think about like, what is the vertical slice of the game? Has anyone heard the concept of vertical slice? Yeah, so I can explain that. So what that is basically is it's like the entire, like the whole experience of the game, from like the beginning to like the whole thing. Like if you're making a Super Mario Brothers game, you might just make level 1. It's the guy that jumps, he gets the mushroom, he gets to the end goal, that's your game. So just do 1 level though, not the whole thing. So now you've done the vertical slice, right? Making the 20 levels, that's the whole game, the rest of the thing. So I'm thinking, once you got a vertical slice made, then you want to think about, how do I build the factory that builds the rest of the game? Not necessarily, because the hard part is actually building the factory, not building the single thing. Like you could build 1 car in your garage, but can you build a factory that builds 100 cars? That's a little bit more complex. But with AI, you can kind of like design that workflow that's able to jam that out. So my goal was to be able to like build a game. So I want to make a successful game. Like that's gamified. That process itself is like gamified for me. So if you think about it, where is that slide? Yes. So it's like getting a game up on Steam, releasing it, marketing it, doing all that stuff, to me is a game loop. And watching any level of success, that's the score, right? So however much I can shorten that loop makes me able to learn more and get closer to success every time I do it. And the entire iteration loop is, you start with the idea, the validation, maybe make a little concept, a vertical slice, put it up on a site like itch.io where people can play the game and interact with it and give some feedback. Once you have that, then once you have a reasonable demo or something going, put up your Steam page, And then at that point, you're able to like start building a community, get into festivals. I got into one called Psychedelic Festival about a month ago. That was really fun. By the way, I like really trippy stuff. I don't know if I show up on this screen there, but yeah, so then you do launch planning and then post-launch growth. All that stuff is one single game loop, right? How do I shorten the loop? My goal became, can I get a game written or at least a demo created in 2 to 4 months? And then you spend about like 6 months trolling and collecting wish lists, and then you do your launch. At this point, I only have 144 wish lists with this current game that I'm working on. But the game is called Some Type of Trip, and I can show you what I'm doing. So my favorite engine right now, and I'll get into this more, is Godot, and I have my reasons. But let's go ahead and demo this game a little bit. So one of my favorite, basically it's a typing game, right? So if you were to go, and let's go ahead and play my favorite level. I'm going to do terrible. I'm nervous typing in front of everybody. Here we go. It's hard. Yeah, and now I'm gonna just die. All right. Yeah. All right, cool. So there you go. Now you kind of know what the game is, right? The vertical slice. What would that be here? It'd be, we got the main menu, and just to be able to get into the game. You have a tunnel that you go through, and like signs that come up every once in a while that you type. If you don't do it fast enough, your health meter goes down, you lose. Rinse and repeat. That's the whole thing, the vertical slice. Going horizontally is all of the level production, right? So now what we have here is basically, okay, so this is the fun part. My process. I gotta go get my iPad real quick. Okay. So I wonder if I can show this on the camera. What can we see on the camera? Does anyone know like how good this is? All right, I can see me. All right, cool. So iPad right here, right? So I get to do like all of my doodles in an app called Procreate. So you saw that like character in the game demo that we had. But yeah, it's all hand drawn in Procreate. And then you guys can pass this around if you want. Just go ahead and look at stuff. So I create each of those assets, right, is their own like little standalone thing. You'll have ground assets, the sign asset. They're called characters in my nomenclature. And then these are, believe it or not, wall pieces. Okay, so from what we saw earlier, this is kind of how it's laid out. Let me go slideshow mode for this. So yeah, you can tell like how it's all pieced together, right? You got, basically we have a 3D tunnel. So it's like a 2.5D style game where you're going down a 3D path. You got this curving spline and everything. And then we have these segments of like all of the wall pieces that are arced over you, the ground pieces that are coming, and then you just kind of go down the Z-axis in that regard. Very, very simple. So now we got all of the pieces that we can work with, right? Now let's show you a little bit of like the code and what that looks like. So, oh, thank you. Yeah, it's extremely simple, right? When you boil it down, there's only 4 different asset types. Exactly. Right. And what you see is like the way that we define the level. I mean, I have these level definition files, like this JSON file here. And what's kind of, there's some cool stuff in here, like horseshoe, skip, start angle, and the end angle. Now this horseshoe is like how I explained it to the LLM while I was working with AI to build this. The horseshoe is the arc over you, right? And the start angle is like the left side, and the right angle is the right side, and then it fills in it interpolates using some math of how to build that arc. And then there's like distance, and you can make all the adjustments, and you can do all of that right here inside this JSON file. The path points are also just defined starting at 0, and it just goes up that way, and very long to define how the level works. But it's basically telling you how the tunnel's going to move and wind and twist and everything like that. You can have, yeah, and you can have tilts in there. There's some levels where it gets trippy by tilting left and right. And then you got the level content, which is all the words, which every level is basically an essay dealing with some degree of philosophy. There's a level about attention. This idea came from my daughter. She was basically like, Dad, why don't we have a level that's super distracting? Like it's all about life's distractions and social media. Maybe I'll just demo that because it's fun. Let's see what this does to you guys. Distractions. There we go. All right. All right, cool. I can't do it. I have ADHD, man. Okay, I'm gonna tell Raya that, like, my daughter. I'm gonna tell kid 1 that you guys love that. All right, cool, awesome. So yeah, so the general process. So the general process is, I do all the on the graphics side of things. I doodle using my iPad. You know, it's total creative time, really fun. But I'm one guy, right? So and this is an interesting part where we can get into the ethics of everything, and I'd love to have that conversation at some point. But what I do is I take my doodles, like these ones, and then I use Nano Banana to like kind of expand on my art, to be able to multiply what I do, like be able to flesh out more artistic things, right? More assets, create assets and things like that. And then I'll take, I got a question, yeah.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
You want me to wait to the end?
Oh, you know what? No, it's fine. What's the question?
Does this kind of development get flagged by Steam as AI development?
So Steam does have a thing where you're able to say, like, you have a checkbox of whether or not there's AI that was used in the process of building your game. And then you have a chance to kind of explain how it was used. It's not like automatically dismissed by Steam anymore. I think there was a time like between 2022 and 2023 where they were kind of booting out games automatically. Now they let you just specify and give a disclaimer if you're using AI in the creation of your game or not. Yeah. And there's people that are like totally, it's like if you bring up AI and game development in the same sentence, you're like banished. And then there's people that are totally for it. So it's really like in flux. And I'm having fun with it. Yeah, like maybe it's a guilty pleasure, but I mean, one thing that I like, the one reason I'm a little bit more pro AI is because I feel like I'm able to create like an economic opportunity for artists in the future by doing this, where otherwise I would never have it. I wouldn't be able to get anything off the ground, right? So I'd just be stuck in the mud still. This is allowing me to get something out there where I do want to like hire artists and replace things that I've done and actually generate real opportunities that wouldn't have been able otherwise. So that's kind of how I feel about it. But yeah, I mean, I totally get it if there's anyone that's like, no, never use AI for art anywhere, right? So anyways, I just wanted to kind of put that asterisk in there. Yeah, okay, so continuing down this path, I do my art. I think part of the reason is because I feel like when you're building something, when you're creating art, you're expressing something from your own soul, right? And the second that you're like starting to separate from sharing what's inside is the moment that you need to check yourself. So using AI as a new medium, I feel like is a great way to really continue to be an artist. It's a new kind of paintbrush, in my opinion. So I go and I draw by hand, then I use like Google AI Studio to kind of expound on that, flesh out more stuff, and then I use Photoshop and do like AI background removal. So then we just got the assets, and now they're ready to import. Next, I go to for the level generation pipeline, I'll think about like an interesting topic or something from like, because I'm an old guy now, right? I'm like 44. I've seen a couple things, and now I've had these kids, kid 1, 2, and 3, and I want to be able to share like my life experience with them, or like learn from them. Like I showed that level that I showed you about my daughter. And so I come up with like some essay that I want to write, and I write the essay, I write it, and then we take that, and that's when I have a conversation with Cursor, and we kind of get that massaged into the JSON file, and it will help me generate the tunnel and build out the entire like JSON structure, because it works so good with that structured data, right? So now I've got like a factory, and with that, I can pretty rapidly create more levels. So I got this 10-level demo. Before release, I'll be able to have 20 levels pretty quickly, like within a couple weeks or something. It's pretty cool, pretty exciting. Yeah, John.
So like, depending on the tone or the feel of what you're doing in your essay, does AI actually pick up on it and like make your tunnel bigger, softer, intense, whatever based on what you're doing? Or
I mean, some models are better than others. Like when you're talking to something like Opus, it seems to pick up on the vibe a little better, but it's like you still ultimately are the arbiter of like what is going to go out, what you're going to put out in front of people, right? And so sometimes it doesn't quite get it, and you got to continue to work with it till you get what you want.
how is that?
The music is, I'm using Suno. So Suno is music generation. Sometimes I've sung into the microphone like a song, and then used Suno to like flesh that out as well. I don't want to play that for you. It's really embarrassing. Yeah.
So, okay, I have like zero game dev experience.
Yeah.
Are you having the AI generate the JSON configuration and you go in and kind of test it to see if it works well or not?
Mhm.
How much testing is there? Is the AI pretty good at getting the vibe pretty early on?
So in the Godot world, I wish that, okay, in the web development world, it's so much better to do this because you can use tools like the Playwright MCP to be, I don't know if you guys, have you heard of that? That's a whole demo in and of itself. But you're able to actually get the LLM to use the web page, take screenshots and test it for you, and then write Playwright tests, and you can work with it there. But in Godot, I don't have anything able to click on my Godot buttons or anything, so I got to kind of just trial and error, a lot of trial and error, yeah. But I do make sure to like create these entry points where I can just jump into the spot where I want to test. It does speed things up, but yeah, that's one definitely a challenge. I think the next game I'm going to work on is probably going to be built in a web technology, so I can use the whole iterative testing loop using like Playwright MCP or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, cool. These are good questions. Love it. Yeah, and I put up that Steam demo. So I got a Steam demo up for some type of trip now, and no one knows about it, right? Because the internet is a gigantic place, and it's really hard to, like, marketing is the hardest thing ever. I've never been able to, I'm not good at it. And I realized, like, something that would help market the game would be getting like a TikTok account or a YouTube account and being able to like make shorts. And the prospect of that for a super busy guy is so daunting that I decided to take 5 weeks and build completely new software. Yeah, the idea of like opening up DaVinci Resolve or something and trying to like make one video at a time. For some reason, writing software in my head made more sense. So I decided I'd make a new pipeline that would create videos for me. And that I don't even know what the name of this thing is going to be called yet. Its working name is Vid Marketing, which is kind of dumb. So if you guys have any good ideas, that'd be cool. Oh, look at this. There's a cool game right here that someone sent me a video for. It's called Planet Server. It's made by an amazing guy named Matt Christensen. So what this tool does is it basically helps me pump out shorts really fast. And the way it works is you can upload a video and it will slice it into little tiny segments here, like one segment, second, 5.2 seconds here. And then it analyzes it using AI. My favorite model, the Google folks are going to love this, is Gemini 3.1 Flashlight. This thing is unbelievable for what I'm using this product for because it's so cheap. It's incredibly cheap, but it does an incredibly good job. I'm like kind of blown away by it. Using Opus, I could spend like $2 to $5 in 10 minutes. Using Gemini Flashlight, I can go all night and it costs 15 cents or something like that. It's pretty cool. And that's what the image analysis and everything. Anyways, I keep going off on tangents. I'm too excited about this stuff. But you upload a video, it will slice it up using a library called FFmpeg. And then it will then feed the thumbnails into Gemini 3.1 Flashlight, and it will make the analysis of them. And then it'll create a YAML file that has the full analysis of all of the videos, right? And then you'll see that like it even is able to find specific objects inside and know what their coordinates are, like where it is in the region. All right, so cool. So we got that. Now we got that analysis. The next thing you can do is you can actually go in, you can have a conversation with it. In this case, I just wanted to say, can you give me a nice sample video? It gives you a response. We could go this route. We could do that. You get your own like personal creative, like a creative assistant. And then you're like, sure, fine. Let's go ahead and create that. You hit proceed and it pops something like this out, a script. You could even make like 5 scripts at a time or something. You can just make a whole batch of scripts. And then you can go ahead and go to the edit and you can see it as a timeline and see the whole thing. And gosh, man, there's a lot to show you here. Yeah, you can even watch a preview of it.
Survival is all about the line you choose.
The video you provided, Matt, was pretty low res, so it's a little blurry. But, but you get all kinds of options. Yeah, and you can even like edit every specific segment, choose how much you zoom in, zoom out, whatever. Apply those crops, add overlays, add audio overlays, do all that stuff. But what's cool is that like having a conversation with AI created this short, right? You got like this place to start. And you can even export it to like DaVinci Resolve or something if you want and go work with it in there. Yeah, there you go. There's your files that you can use in like DaVinci Resolve, or what's the other big one? Final Cut Pro. And then you can export, you can just like create the video. Once you've done that, boom, you got this cool video.
Survival is all about the line you
that can go on
choose.
YouTube. And I've been doing that for my game, some type of trip for a little bit. We got a whole bunch of videos here. They're averaging like 1,000 to 1,300 views. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like really dial in like, how do I actually make a good YouTube video? That'll be my next step, but I'm not there. I haven't gotten to that spot yet. Yeah, some of them, they do. They're like, this is a pretty cool game. We'll go look at. I have actually seen a little bit of a bump on my Steam traffic too from it. So that's cool.
So your big marketing
Yeah.
software that you created, like,
Yeah.
Are you going to keep that open source, or is that something you're trying to monetize?
I would be fine if it got monetized, but really I'm just trying to solve my own problem. I did get it connected to Stripe and everything just for the sake, because right now, I got all the sites that I was going to go through, which is like how it works. But like TLDR, I have these API keys, right? And I want to protect them. So like if this software were to get like downloaded by somebody else, I don't want to just like foot the bill for all of the stuff that they do. I guess I could have just like used local everything, but I'm like, in the age of AI, I don't think it's very hard just to hook up Stripe and put this software out there. So I did. like no problem, right? So it was like, so yeah, it's behind a paywall now, and you can totally like sign up for it and use it. But I don't think it's ready. Really, I'm looking for someone that knows how to make really good YouTube videos. Like really, because this software is not ready for prime time or anything. It's kind of cool though. It's just like another step in the game that I'm playing to try to like get the video game to be successful, because that's my real dream. Yeah. All right. Cool. I could totally go into the architecture of it if anyone's interested in that. Where are we on time? Am I kind of running up against? How much time do I got left?
You got maybe like 5 minutes left.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, let's just go ahead. We can do like a general Q&A. I think we're pretty good. I've shared pretty much what I wanted to share. One of the cool things is I did actually have it all deployed to the cloud and running in the cloud and everything. But then I realized like it's too slow, like doing all the video processing up there, it's too slow, too expensive. So luckily from the outset, I built this thing where basically I'm just using Docker containers so that it can all just run locally now on the desktop. It's a much better experience because you're actually just doing it with your own video card. It's a lot faster. It's using a .NET sidecar that runs all of the same stuff that I was using for like Azure functions. And then that uses like, pulls down the latest FFmpeg version, or it's pinned to a certain version. But yeah, like I'm kind of just like running through everything really fast. And then I've wrapped it in a thing called Tauri, which is basically an alternative to Electron. But now I'm kind of intrigued about Electron, given the last talk that we heard, because that would use more Chromium stuff. So that might be interesting for my next project. But Tauri is like all Rust based. So that's pretty cool. Like less memory leaks, and the footprint's only 5 to 10 megabytes. That's pretty neat. Anyways, yeah, that's my talk. It was all over the place, but thank you for hearing me out. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah.
How do you use AI to generate your slideshows?
Oh, like this? So I would go and I'd be like, this is what I want on a slide. I'd tell ChatGPT, and then it would generate like the image for me. Yeah, I started with, let's see. Oh, I even like had pictures of me where I'm like, we could have this cool slide of me doing that. I included this picture. This is how it got the first slide. And then I'm like, I don't want my actual kid's name there. And it's like, okay, I will comply. Kid 1, 2, and 3. But yeah.
Do you use a free tier of ChatGPT, or do you like kind of?
So I am I spend way too much money on AI. Like I have ChatGPT Pro and I have Claude Pro. I don't have the expensive one. And then I like totally sprung for like the $2,000 annual cursor license. Yeah. Just because I feel like if I don't have, this is probably AI psychosis right now, admitting it, but I feel like if I don't have my like AI running on something, I feel like I'm just wasting time. I don't know why that is. I just want it running on some project that I've got in the back of my head, because it feels like if you've ever played Overwatch, you get these things called loot boxes. You get a whole bunch of loot boxes, and then you go in, you like open them up, and what pops out? So I like want to like throw a spec at the AI, throw some design at it, and then come back and see what POC I have. Like it's a loot box. What are we gonna get? So I am kind of a fan of vibe coding just at the entry level stage of things, just for the proof of concept side. But once you get to like the size of software like Limble is right now, forget about vibe. Do not vibe code. You will destroy your company if you vibe code right now. Like you will just flush all of the like very carefully crafted work down the toilet. It's awesome for POCs, but you need real engineers to be able to like take your thing to an like enterprise level. And that's why I said that like my desktop application isn't quite ready for prime time. There's like probably security concerns that I want to go over. There's all kinds of things that I want to look at before I make sure that like I'm allowed to. But it's a cool project. It worked for me to produce videos, and I don't know, it's fun. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, this is more like an art question.
Oh boy.
Like when you are developing a game and you're like ideating, I guess, brainstorming like what assets you want to include or what your characters look like, do you just like go into the flow state? Like what does that look like when you drew that giant mushroom?
Yeah. So I got that mushroom right here, right? Honestly, I like. Let me load that. Let me get that guy because I have that. Let's see. There we go. So we got the mushroom. I'm showing all the people at home. Now I'm going to show you guys. But yeah, so I don't know what's going through my head. I think I believe in the right brain, left brain thing, and the right brain takes over, and I don't think about it too hard. Like you let the inhibitions kind of down, and you don't judge what you're doing while you're doing it, and just see what comes out. Yeah, hard to explain. I don't know.
I just have this dream of like having like a game development cycle like all the way automated. From the moment you do it, it just starts in the background while you're sleeping, marketing.
That'd be so fun.
Videos, and then when you wake up and your whole game is like advertiser come out. I mean, is that ethical?
That I don't know if I feel good about that in particular. There's this term actually for it. It's called AI slop, and now like on Steam, it's getting proliferated with that kind of thing, where people are just like shovelwaring stuff right onto Steam. To me, like personally, this is just really personal on my side. It's like really like an expression of yourself. And so I like to actually have a stronger hand in the creation of it than that.
The marketing side.
Oh, the marketing side? A little bit more so, yeah. Yeah.
I'm the same way. Marketing is so hard. Like I
Yeah.
struggle with it so much. I don't have resources and like do that.
Right.
It's cool, but nobody looks at it, you know, so.
Yeah, exactly. The part that I wanted to kind of abstract away was the tedium side of it, but not the artistic side of it. To be able to like empower the artistic side is really, I think, honestly, isn't that why we wanted AI? Like to get rid of the tedium so that we could all be children again and be able to do like all of the fun stuff that we did when we didn't know what money was? That would be amazing.
Do we have any questions in the chat?
Oh, yeah, let's see. Sorry, guys.
No, I didn't see any questions in the chat.
No questions? Okay, cool. Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Any final
Thank you.
questions here? All right. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, guys.